I just got 2 of those text messages that are like verify a link with this code, implying that someone's trying to log into something of mine, but they can't.
Well, it's like every time I log into any web browser like Chrome or Safari, they're like, this browser has prevented your identity from being stolen by 1,300 websites. Like, I'm pretty sure I haven't even been to that many websites.
Well, you know what I got the other day was an email receipt from a Hampton Inn in Boston. I'm like, who's using my email address to like check into a Hampton Inn in Boston?
I got an invite to a party, like one of those like Partyful invites. And I was like, oh, that's so exciting. And then immediately I got a follow-up email from that person being like, don't click the link on that Partyful because my email got hacked.
Yeah.
And of course I immediately clicked the link on the Partyful because I was like, oh wow, I never get invited to parties. Finally, at last, I'm accepted socially. And then nope, wrong.
Yeah. The only person inviting me to parties is a hacker on an acquaintance's behalf.
Yes. Midnight
Milkshake. Painful.
Painful, hurtful.
Yeah, very hurtful. In fairness, I'm like, I would be interested to go to the hacker's party just to figure out kind of what they know.
Well, I'm almost like, if you're a hacker and if you're gonna get me like with a Partyful invite, you can throw a party. Take my identity. Just give me a party.
Also,
Let me say I went to a party.
Easier to take identities in the context of a party?
Yeah. Also, that's also now an interesting scam.
Yeah.
Where suddenly there's a social element to it, and then that's limited series worthy, dare I say.
So true, some sort of like social scam.
Yes.
I mean, there's been a myriad of famed social grifters.
Of course.
Apparently there was an LA version of Anna Delvey a couple years ago, and everyone is fiending for that documentary now. Her name was Sophia, and she apparently conned many LA influencers in like the early 2020s out of thousands of dollars.
Just by what? Starting a fake social club or something?
I don't think so. I think I'm not really sure what her grift was. That's why people want the documentary. But her name was Sophia. Yeah, exactly. Lots of good grifters out here. I always respect grifters who don't come for money, but I don't respect grifters who come for money. Like, Bill Gates' daughter.
Oh yeah, recently, Bill Gates' daughter recently got in a little bit of hot water for a scam, or as she says, a simple error.
A bug. She called it a bug.
She calls it a bug.
But basically what was happening is her startup was taking credit for affiliate link sales through their app called Fia, which is like a luxury shopping app that allegedly is supposed to connect you with the lowest price of your clothing item on any website.
Yeah.
But basically what they were doing is they were opening up windows anytime anyone clicked like any link, it would open up a Fia app link in the back so that they'd get credit for sales or something.
Or something.
I think
that's the thing. If your scam's so fucking boring, that's maybe your hope to get away from.
Yeah. It's just like if someone talks about your scam for more than 2 seconds, the other person immediately falls asleep.
Well, also it's like it's also a lot of words to describe what is a basic lie. Because if it was a shopping app and the whole thing was like they reported that their app was responsible for sales they weren't actually responsible for. And it's like, that's just like a 10-year-old lying.
Right.
That's like saying like, oh yeah, I did my homework and you didn't do your homework.
But you realize like rich 30-year-olds are just like, they just never grew out of that 10-year-old lying phase.
Yeah.
Also, it's like when she was a 10-year-old lying was probably the last time her dad paid attention to her.
Yeah.
And she was like, run it back.
So if I want to get Bill Gates' attention now, I have to lie on a larger scale.
Right.
Or have a bug.
Have a bug.
Well, that was always frustrating because whenever I would lie to my parents and get caught red-handed, they're like, Robert, you said you cleaned your room. Your room is a mess. I'm like, it's a bug. It's a programming error.
Yeah.
My team is working on it. Don't you get my team is working on this?
You're like, this is actually John's fault. He's my software engineer.
They're like, who's John? And I'm like, John is on payroll. Payroll is late. That's another bug. Okay?
Yeah.
Well, people also talk about how Forbes 30 under 30 at this point is like mostly criminals.
Yeah.
Tons of criminals are on 30 under 30.
Well, because you realize that in order to truly be a wonderkind, you need a scam. I mean, I guess it all goes back to 10-year-olds lying.
Yeah.
Like, in order to be a savant and ingenue, you have to really channel that kind of like your inner 4th grade kid who's desperate to get attention by any means necessary.
Yeah.
And I think like ultimately that's what Forbes 30 under 30 is like people who kind of kept that inner 4th grader alive within them.
That inner 4th grader who's like, the dog ate my homework. Really, they just didn't do their homework.
That's who...
Instead of like learning not to do that, they leaned in and got Forbes 30 under 30.
Exactly.
It's pretty crazy. Well, again, the whole tone of Forbes 30 under 30 is like, they're so successful and so young. how did they do it? It's like lies and crimes,
lies
baby.
And crimes. Lies, the oldest trick in the book.
Yeah.
But again, it's all tricks. It's all illusion.
But to be honest with you, like even like successful businesses feel like a lie to me. Like even if you said that Bill Gates' daughter had a luxury shopping app that worked as advertised and there was no like grift or scam involved, that would feel like a grift.
Well, you realize the only business that I respect is when I can see that you have a product and people are paying you money for that product.
Yeah.
Like I actually only respect on a base level retail. That's like the only thing I think I respect.
I respect Sprinkles Cupcake.
Yes.
Because there's no like, there's no product glitch, algorithm, raise money, valuation. It's like I make a cupcake, you buy cupcake.
Yeah. Here is flour, butter, sugar concoction. You give me $4. And I can see how that works
also,
and how that could be
Sprinkles
scaled.
says to me, hey, Robert, we sold you a cupcake. I know whether or not that's true. The cupcake's in my hand.
Right.
But if Bill Gates' daughter says on her luxury shopping app that we up sales 48% for our affiliate partners, I'm like, well, maybe. I don't know. I don't know. But yeah, you're right. Like a cupcake person can only scam you so much. They can sell you a bad cupcake, but they can't sell you no cupcake and tell you they sold you a cupcake. Yeah.
You'll know.
You'll know. Well, that's also it. It's like no one, again, the scam with the Bill Gates' daughter thing, or maybe it's just a bug.
A bug.
So let's say we don't know.
We don't know. And we don't want to get sued.
And I don't want to get sued by Bill Gates' daughter.
No.
Well, I would love to get sued by Bill Gates' daughter kind of like anecdotally in
for
order
a
to talk about it
publicity
at a party.
thing.
But I don't
My whole
actually
thing
want to
though
get
is
sued.
just like, well, she could take everything we have. It's not much, but it's ours.
It's not much.
Don't come for the pot.
Me on the stand.
Yeah.
Well, it's not much. Don't have a lot.
Don't got a lot.
We're just talking like peasants
Sorry,
in the
Miss
field.
Gates.
Sorry, Madam Gates.
We understand now it was a bug.
Sorry, we know your
Our
product.
peasant brains are too dumb to comprehend.
I'm too stupid. A rich person beats the shit out of you and steals your wallet. You're like, me peasant brain is too dumb to understand your business wiles.
I'm sorry, me lord.
I'm sorry,
me lady.
lord.
She's a lady.
She's a lady.
noble.
She's a noble girl.
Yeah, and we're fucking peasants. We're techno-feudal serfs.
Of course, as I
But it's like we discovered that one of the surf lords is they don't actually have grain. They're just like selling like the idea of grain or something.
Yeah. Sorry, I'm trying to
I know.
connect it back to Bill Gates'
you know
daughter.
what? Never mind.
Also, my thing with Bill Gates' daughter is like, just get a fucking job at Microsoft. Do you know what I mean? I think also a lot of like Nepo babies, like in a weird way, it's like they want to like prove it something. They want to prove something. And it's like, you're never going to prove you're not Bill Gates' daughter. You are Bill Gates' daughter.
Well, clearly her goal wasn't to prove that she's not Bill Gates' daughter, but her goal was to generate a reputation for herself outside of him.
But I think that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Where it's like and yet when we talk about this whole scam, what do we say? We say Bill Gates' daughter got caught in a scam.
But also to me, the only thing you need to do to show up Bill Gates at this juncture is not go on the plane. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Girl, you're already better than him. You didn't get on the plane. You know what I mean?
I don't want to talk about my friend Bill Gates.
Hey.
Hey.
I'm golfing with Bill this weekend, and this is going to make it really uncomfortable.
I'm golfing. Yeah, and I'm going to have a lot to answer for.
Isn't there like some celebrity golf tournament going on right now?
That's called their lives. That's all celebrities do is golf. That's the only thing celebrities do.
Yeah.
Well, that was, I saw Charles Barkley said that he didn't attend Taylor Swift's wedding because he didn't know them that well and he'd rather just golf with his friends.
That's so valid.
And that's real.
Well, but that's what we were talking about last week.
Yeah.
Like any celebrity that I respect was not there.
Yeah. Us,
the celebrities we respect ourselves.
Yeah. Bill Gates.
Bill Gates wasn't there.
I don't know why I'm coming hard swinging for Bill Gates now. It just seems like, I don't know. But I guess my point with his daughter is just like, it's like, I think maybe what you're saying is like, she wants to have a name outside of him. Why?
Right.
Who cares?
Yeah.
Also, like, no, you're Bill Gates' daughter. You're going to be Bill Gates' daughter no matter what you do. Why run from it?
To me, she's Melinda Gates' daughter.
Whoa. Pick me?
To me, she's the child of PBS.
You're a hipster for Melinda Gates?
The Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation.
I remember when they got divorced, Melinda Gates was like, yeah, a lot of it had to do with Jeffrey Epstein. And
Yeah,
I'm like,
she was like his friendship with Jeffrey Epstein.
just came out and said it. Well, Bill Gates, when explaining
she was like, Saturdays were for the boys, and that was not okay. Yeah. And I did not like those boys.
Yeah. Bill Gates, when describing his divorce, is like, obviously our split was, there's a lot of love there in our relationship. And Melinda Gates is like, it was Epstein. It was Jeffrey Epstein.
It was the Lolita Express and the fact that he was on it.
obviously it's not the most important thing, but anyone who was on the flight logs onto Jeffrey's Island and stuff, you're just never winning an argument ever in your life.
No.
Anyone arguing with you, that's just a card they have.
Right. I'm like, you were on the Epstein flight logs.
Yeah.
Oh, and everyone is just like, yeah.
Bill was probably talking to his daughter, like, it just seems like what you're doing isn't maybe legal. And she's like, flight logs.
Flight logs.
Flight logs.
Well, that's also it. It's like, just you have no leg to stand on. And as a disciplinarian and father, how can you expect to raise a law-abiding daughter?
Well, I mean, she's already grown, right? Is she like 10?
No, she's like our age.
She's 15.
Maybe like 5 years younger than us. She's under 30. She was Forbes 30 under 30, and we're famously over 30. And no, we didn't make it.
We didn't make the
Forbes cut because we didn't want to do crime, and also we didn't have any good ideas for a crime.
That's also
that's the real thing. Well, every time I see someone like do a scam, my whole thing is just like, I'm like, how'd you even think of that? Like, I genuinely, I don't have a scammer brain. I don't have grifter brain. And sometimes I'm like, my life would probably be better if I had a grifter brain.
Well, my thing is I just don't have actually the self-esteem, dare I say. Because I also think about Elizabeth Holmes, and I'm like, I don't think I have the self-esteem to pull off a significant scam. Because Elizabeth Holmes, I genuinely don't think meant to do a scam. I think she meant to be a tech genius. The problem was she wasn't actually a tech genius, so she couldn't actually create the tech. And so she just kind of stumbled into... this machine can do all this crazy shit to your blood, can't actually do it.
Right.
But also, we talk about...
But she also, like, wasn't wrong to, like, kind of manifest that could happen. Because also that's how so much of Silicon Valley works. Is you, like, go in, you go, wouldn't it be cool if blank? And then you try to see if a bunch of people who are smarter than you can make that come to fruition.
But the problem is they couldn't.
Right.
Well, that was the funniest thing about the Theranos documentary to me is, like, she would lead all of these investors into the room with her blood machine. She would take their blood, and then she'd go, all right, let's do a tour of the rest of the building while the machine works really quickly.
Yeah.
And then while they were taking a tour, scientists would run in, take the blood out of the machine, go do a traditional blood test, come back, put it in the machine.
Yeah. I mean, it was a real Three Stooges kind of operation.
So it's this weird thing
she
where
had
it's
Curly, Larry, and Moe.
Yeah. Is it that I'm not clever enough? Or like you think you're not clever enough to do a scam, and then you read about the scams, and it is the Three Stooges.
Yeah,
it's
no,
the
100%.
Animaniacs.
Right. Well, yeah, it's all essentially like fools with great confidence.
Yes.
Kind of like spinning their wheels. But what I guess I'm just like, I don't even have an idea for fools to spin their wheels on.
Yeah.
Is what I'm saying. No, like I agree with you in that, like, I think a lot of it is just arrogance and also self-delusion. A lot of the best grifters believe in their grift.
Yes.
Like, they don't think they're grifting. They genuinely don't. Like Anna Delvey, I think, really believed that she was just going to start a social club. And she was like, this is how you raise money for it.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm going to tell a couple lies, but hey, I believe in my social club.
Yeah.
And like she said, like, she wouldn't have been able to get like the startup capital if no one thought it was a good idea, or like no one had any semblance of belief in it.
Well, my thing isn't so much the social club element with her. It was just like she's like clearly like robbing her friends.
Well, 100%.
And also that was, dare I say, my beef with the Anna Delvey like it wasn't a documentary.
It was
a
the
limited
Netflix
series.
shows. Yeah, not a documentary, but
and
I think
found
people
it deeply immoral because also it again. The Netflix Anna Delvey series, I think, does a really sinister thing of like trying to frame her as like a girl boss and everyone who was a victim of her real crimes as like a dumb bitch.
Yeah.
Like they have like, she like scams this like lady out of like 68 grand or something. And then the limited series casts an ugly person to play the friend.
And in real life, the friend is hotter than Anna Delvey, but in the series, the friend is uglier than Anna Delvey.
And also in the Anna Delvey series, and I think this is the thing that kind of makes you go, huh? Is they have like this thing where before she does her scam, she's dating a man in tech, and she essentially comes up with the idea for his company that then he goes and he becomes successful on, gives her no credit. So it's showing the way that like, wow, she does have these good ideas, but men in the tech industry don't take her seriously. Come to find out, there was no boyfriend.
Yeah, they made that up.
There was no company.
That whole thing was fictional.
So you invented, and again, when you invent it to make her more sympathetic, it's like, well, is this just pro scammer?
Well, the series was called Inventing Anna.
So yeah.
But yeah, I think ultimately the fact that she's still like flourishing, it seems, and she has like real industry opportunities
to some degree, yeah.
To some degree would indicate that I'm like, Yeah, no, the culture is saying that they're pro-grifter. And I mean, clearly the culture is pro-grifter because it's not like Forbes 30 Under 30 is looking into any of the people that they're platforming. They're clearly like desperate to platform criminals. And you know what? Maybe criminals are the future. I guess that's very American. Like, we're just becoming more on the surface about it. Like, America has always been a nation of crooks, but maybe now we're just really embracing our crookiness.
Well, if you think about America was stolen twice, obviously. Like, it was stolen from the indigenous population by, like, the British, and then it was stolen again from the British.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't really feel bad about the stealing from the British part, but I'm just like, it is a nation of crooks. Everyone here stealing everything.
Right, so true. We live on stolen land. Poor Kane, no, I steal some affiliate commission.
And this is why you're going to be representing Bill Gates' daughter in court.
And yes, guys, I'm going to take the bar so that I can represent BB Gates.
And then you also hear about like these basic scams where it's like there was a recent scam where someone who worked at Chick-fil-A essentially like it was a mac and cheese scam where like they would process when people returned mac and cheese.
Dude, mac and cheese scam is so my kind of scam.
Pretty good. Somehow like when people returned mac and cheese, he would then have it go to his card.
Okay, so
let me look up the mac and cheese
scam.
Because if I recall, the mac and cheese scam was just good fun. Okay, so here's what he did.
Yeah.
This is one of my favorite scams. This is the Chick-fil-A mac and cheese scam. Feel free to don't do this at home. This actually is illegal. A former employee of a Chick-fil-A, makes sense he's a former employee.
Yeah.
Generally, when you're talking about someone who ran a scam, it'd be pretty crazy if they were like, all right, this is the last time, back to work.
You don't keep your job after that.
A former employee of a Chick-fil-A in Grapevine, Texas, was arrested for executing an $80,000 refund scam involving macaroni and cheese trays. In November 2025, police reported that 25-year-old Keyshawn Jones slipped behind the counter and used the restaurant's register to ring up about 800 fake mac and cheese tray orders, then refunded the money onto his personal credit cards.
Why mac and cheese? Did he just think that no one would look for it?
I think that's maybe where he went wrong a little bit because I bet he just picked the first, like a random food item. But I think if you go spicy chicken sandwich, there's so many spicy chicken sandwiches being moved out of a Chick-fil-A. Maybe you would kind of be able to hide in like the cloud of like the real product being like sent out.
Yeah, you'd think.
So basically he rung up a bunch of orders and then when you ring them all up, you can refund them.
Right.
As if someone returned them.
Yeah.
And he just had it refund to his own personal credit card.
And I guess presumably when they're doing like inventory, it just shows like items and numbers.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, so it probably wouldn't even like flag.
I bet that was
probably his. Well, yeah.
Yeah.
No, that is really interesting. I mean, I wonder if it would have been different with a different item or if it was just like, ultimately, that's suspicious.
Well, I was about to be like, maybe it'd be different if you only had a little bit amount of money, because there was that one guy who he successfully stole hundreds of millions of dollars from, I believe, several tech companies. I know one of them was Google. I think it was Google, Apple, might have been Facebook, but basically all he did was he would send really small invoices. So he would invoice for like electrical work at an office, and he would just send it to the accounting department of these massive companies for like $55. And the thing is, he knew that if the amount was small enough, these companies are so siloed that like no one in the accounting department is going to check with the specific branch that had the electrical work done. They're just going to approve the payment. But he sent hundreds and thousands of these really small invoices over like multiple decades. I think he made off with like hundreds of millions of dollars.
Well, that is the plot of Office Space at its core, right? Weren't they just trying to steal like a couple dollars off every transaction or whatever?
I'm realizing now I haven't seen Office Space in a while.
We watched Office Space recently.
I know, I forget.
I guess you probably didn't pick up on like the scam part of it because that's not something that you pay attention to.
Yeah.
But basically the idea was they were gonna like steal like cents, like fractions of amounts off of transactions in the company.
Well, here's the thing. Every time I hear about a scam, I'm like, hey, that scam sounds like it could actually work. And then I'm like, the very fact that I'm hearing about it means it did not work.
It didn't work.
Oh, there was a scam that actually did work though, and it worked so well that people aren't even sure if it was real. People talk about it as if it's an
urban legend.
People talk about it as if it was an urban legend. But here's the scam. I believe it was in a UK zoo, and essentially it was a parking attendant scam where a guy would get paid to park people's cars at the zoo, and he just like ran like the parking lot of the zoo. He would like meet people, be like, I'll park your car for like a certain amount of money. Did this for years. Came out like he wasn't affiliated at all with the zoo. and just made off with all the money. But you say scam there.
But it's like he was parking the cars.
He did
no?
park the cars.
I'm like, at some point, if you're providing a service, even if it's unsanctioned, that doesn't seem necessarily illegitimate. He detected a void in the marketplace.
Oh, okay. He didn't park their cars.
Oh.
This is the Bristol Zoo parking attendant. So it's like kind of an urban legend. Okay, so people would park their own cars at the zoo. He would present himself as a zoo official and collect a parking fee.
Oh, I love it. So there was no parking fee.
So yes, a man at the Bristol Zoo in the United Kingdom has been collecting money off every car parked in the car park attached to the zoo. Nobody is entirely sure when he started, but it was definitely recorded as more than 20 years ago. So for between 20 and 25 years, he would charge like $3 for everyone who parked their own car at the zoo. He would be like, "Hi, I'm the parking attendant. This would be a $3 fee."
Yeah.
Everybody paid. For 20 to 25 years, he was unaffiliated with the zoo. The zoo, there was no fee to park there.
It's pretty funny.
Pretty cool.
Like,
is it at that point? It's like, who is he robbing? He's just
he's taking money. Yeah, he's robbing people.
Who is he robbing?
Yeah,
probably the people whose money he's taking.
It's just interesting though, because like when you're dealing in those kind of small amounts, I'm just kind of like, it's like, okay, it's not victimless crime, but also I'm like, I wouldn't say anyone was like severely harmed.
No, but then you go into this point of like, well, then is that really the standard of a society where it's like you can rob someone as long as it's not in a you can break any rule and like rob and steal as long as it's not a small amount. And also, I do think this was always something that's very true, kind of all scams, where like even that guy who like made hundreds of millions of dollars from like Google or Apple or whatever, just scamming them by sending in fake invoices. It's like you go, well, why didn't you stop after like 50 million? But then it's like, if you've already made 50 million, why not make 51?
No, 100%. Like, where does the buck stop,
and
as they say?
Well, no, you should play it safe. It's like, well, if you played it safe, you would never have scam them out of $1, much less 150 mil or whatever.
Right. Like, what it takes to get started is the same mentality that it takes to keep going.
And as we often talk about, a lot of scams are so involved and complicated that I'm like, you could just get a job.
Right. Like, this is a job. But I think, like, that's also why is so funny is I'm like, we are in this, like, bizarre economic predicament where it's like, no, it's definitely easier to be a quote unquote entrepreneur grifter than it is to get a traditional 9-to-5.
Well, also I notice this. I notice a lot of two things. I notice a lot of AI accounts, specifically on Facebook. So AI accounts that do not announce themselves as AI. There's a fake podcast account it's entirely an AI podcast, entirely AI. It's got like 30K followers.
What's the format of the podcast? Is it people talking?
It's just one person and it's one woman giving like a kind of generic feel good advice.
But she's AI.
But she's completely AI.
So she's like fake Mel Robbins vibes, or
I would say it's like those where it's like someone saying it's like someone more like fake Jay Shetty as a woman.
Okay, yeah.
And it's just an AI woman being like, the people who will not be there as your real friends will never be there when you need real support. So if someone is a fake friend, you need to really get away from them.
And did she lie?
You would like that.
I probably would.
You'd be in the comments being like, true.
Yeah, I'd be like repost. I'd be like saving it to my folder so I could watch it for inspiration later.
Well, there's also a lot of AI stand-up comedians that have been taking over Facebook, completely taking over Facebook. By the way, there are literally dozens that I've just seen of just AI stand-up comedians that are taking over Facebook, not announcing themselves as AI. And it does not seem like the people in the comments know that they're AI. It seems like it's just stand-up comedy done by AI.
Old man said, "We've been happily married for 50 years. His friend asked, "What's the secret?" He replied, 30 years ago, we agreed that whenever we argued, I'd leave the house. Turns out fresh air really saves marriages.
Here's the thing. I'm like, I get how you could not think that it's AI.
Well, that's just because she's dressed exactly like you dress when you do stand-up.
Yeah. Here's my thing. I look at her, I go, they probably used me as inspiration.
I looked at her and I go, my first instinct is, who would dress like that while doing stand-up comedy? And I'm like,
I've worn that exact outfit on stage before. My
it
does seem fake. Like it has an uncanny valley vibe.
It does,
for sure.
but also I should say none of the comments are like fake.
Yeah.
The top comment is someone named Bruce Byers who wrote a paragraph. The secret in our nearly 60 years of marriage, we were a bilingual couple. I'm not going to read the whole thing, but he's really opening up to her.
Wow.
He's really opening up.
Yeah, Bruce is really confiding in the stand-up comedian about his bilingual relationship.
And you know what's interesting? Someone else, Ralph Haddon's commented, when's the comedy start, ... lame. Here's what's interesting. He's being sexist. And I'm like, now I feel compelled to defend the the AI abomination doing fake stand-up.
And that ultimately is what good content is just creating discourse. And insofar, is this good? And I would say no. I would say AI generated stand-up is not good for the culture.
That joke makes no sense.
But you know what is really funny is it's like, is it better for people to have a fake outlet for their sexism?
Yes, if men online are going to be mean to female stand-up comedians, is it better to just funnel them towards AI? But I would almost be like, I mean, I guess I don't know. I would say it should be a thing, though, that only works, though, if after you leave a sexist comment on the female AI stand-up comedian, you're banned from the internet. There has to be like it's almost like it's a trap.
Right.
It has to function like
it's a
trap.
honeypot for sexists. Yeah.
I will say, though, that joke, she goes, what's the secret? What's the secret to our marriage? Every time we get in a fight, I leave the house. Turns out fresh air is actually really good to think through conflict. If I went on stage, like, so my wife and I, we've been married we haven't been married almost a year, but I'll use stand-up logic for timelines don't matter. My wife and I have been married almost a year now. What's the secret? Our secret is that whenever we have conflict, I just leave the house. Turns out being outside, really good. Well, you laugh, I guess it works.
I mean, it would depend on how it was delivered. Yeah. I think... Again, do I think that's funny? No. If I saw someone do that in an open mic, I'd literally be like, are you okay?
Also, if you saw someone move kind of like jittery.
She does move kind of weird.
But again, it's just this whole thing where you go like, people believe it.
Totally.
People believe it.
But also it's like, I guess it doesn't matter. Like, does it matter if people believe it? Like...
Yeah, it's like at that point you
also,
would go...
if you like it, if you like that, there's something wrong with you anyway.
Yeah. So it's like, is that taking away anything from like real stand-up comedians on Facebook? If anything, it's just making you look better by comparison.
But if anything, too, I'm like, dude, I do feel people like Bruce who are like leaving this AI bot like comments about his relationship. I am like, Bruce needs a wellness check. I do think like the comment section of those kind of AI videos we should be monitoring the people in them. No?
Well, it is so interesting whenever people talk about like the internet, they always talk about it as from the standpoint of it's ruining young people. You hear a lot about the internet. Oh, it's ruining like young women's self-esteem. And I'm not necessarily saying it's not, but like the internet is, I think, really exposing how low the self-esteem is for old people.
Yeah.
I don't think like, again, I'm not saying the internet doesn't negatively affect young people's self-esteem, but I also think like you go in the comment section of anything on Facebook, you'll find the saddest old people like sharing their deepest, darkest secrets. And to me, it's just evidence of like, oh, you have like no pride, you have no sense of like privacy, you just, and also you clearly have no outlet in your life to just, you're spilling your guts out in the comment section of an AI generated like woman on Facebook.
Yeah, but you know what I realized about that is the bar is the floor for boomers when it comes to your response. Like their willingness to talk at you while getting no cues that you are interested or care at all is to me so wild, because I'm like, okay, when I'm talking to someone, so much of me wanting to talk to someone is I want their response to what I'm saying.
Yes.
And so the idea that I would like sit here and give you like a whole monologue and like spill my guts out and have you so visibly not give a fuck would hurt my feelings. So it's like the fact that their feelings aren't hurt when they open up in this really vulnerable way, or like at the very least like share something they think is interesting. The fact that there's no reaction from the person on the other end, I'm like, how does that not hurt your feelings? It's like we talk about, like, are they all like sociopaths? It's so odd.
Well, here's the thing about boomers when they communicate. They're simultaneously deeply sad in a way that makes you pity them, but also deeply arrogant in a way that makes you resent them.
Right.
Like, they will just trauma dump on you and say the most upsetting thing that really bums you out. And then if you respond in any way that's not like pure respect and awe, they get offended.
But even if you do respond with pure respect and awe, okay, here's what I've noticed. Like a boomer will like trauma dump on you, or they'll like brag. Boomers love to brag. They love to brag about themselves or their past or whatever. And even if you're like effusive, like, oh my God, that's so cool. You can tell they're not even listening to you say, oh my God, that's so cool.
Yeah.
Like they're not even hearing that. And I'm like, theoretically, I'm affirming the shit out of you. I could literally be like, wow, you're the most interesting person I've ever met. Like, that's amazing. You're clearly so smart and rich and amazing. And wow, you're so great. And like that, how do you call it? Registers the same as if I literally looked at them and go, I don't care.
Yeah.
It's all the same.
I don't think boomers communicate. I don't think boomers think that their communication is supposed to make anyone else around them comfortable or like them.
Right.
I think they should be able to communicate whatever pops into their head, and everyone should have to respect it. Because I think boomers operate on a scale of respect. I don't even think, do people like it? Does this make anyone happy? It is even in the conversation.
But then how do they gauge if they're being respected or not? I guess they gauge it by, are people standing there and listening, kind of? But it's like, that's also the thing, is I'm like, I have turned around and like left so many conversations with the boomers. Like I've like soft ghosted in real time, like a boomer who's like talking at me, and I don't think they even notice.
Well, I'll be honest, sometimes older relatives will say some absolutely crazy, nonsensical shit to me, and I'll respond like this. I'll go, what? And they look at me like they literally think, oh, Robert's so stupid. He doesn't understand the point I was clearly making. And I'm like, no, I get exactly what you're saying. It's really unsettling and weird and poorly communicated. But I do think that speaks to the arrogance of like, a boomer will say something nonsensical and aggressive and homophobic and racist, and you'll look at them and be like, what are you talking about? And they'll hear you go, what are you talking about? And they'll go, these kids don't know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, these kids don't even know what I'm talking about. But I'm like, it's just so interesting that boomers have seemingly have no desire to actually effectively communicate.
Yeah.
I don't even think they know what real communication looks like. And we always talk about this, but there are so many boomers who just hate TV. Like,
oh my God.
We'll rattle on and on about like how TV is for dumb people and TV is mindless, and like, you don't even need a brain to watch TV. Anyone can watch TV. No one has to teach you how to watch TV. And yet boomers are the worst storytellers of all time. And I always think this with every boomer I know who hates TV. I'm like, you could stand to watch a little TV because it might tell you something about how to tell a story. Yeah. It might teach you something about how to tell a freaking story. It might teach you something about how to not be so freaking boring.
Well, my parents will be like, Robert, what are you watching TV for? You know, it melts your brain. And then my parents telling a story will be like, okay, so let's start with a character who doesn't figure into the story at all. Let's go non-linear. Let me include a bunch of details that don't matter.
Let me tell you about what the guy at the gas station's race was. No, he's not part of the story. Oh, okay.
Okay.
I'm like, you should watch a fucking TV show.
Yeah. Again, I'm listening. Like, my parents would never let me watch TV. We didn't have TV in our house. It was a whole thing. They're like, that's bad for you. My parents will tell a story, and I'm like, you could use some 3-act structure.
Yeah.
You could use some, like, let's build to some, like, crescendo to some commercial breaks.
Let's have a climax here.
Let's have some likable characters.
Yeah, let's have some jokes.
A little laugh every now and then.
Let's have a narrator that isn't deeply racist and self-involved.
Let's have a not racist, yeah.
Just some ideas I'm throwing out here.
Okay.
Yeah.
Again, my parents would never let me watch TV, and then my mom would literally think people who watch TV all the time are stupid.
Yeah.
And then my mom tells a story like someone who's never perceived a story being told. And it's like, yeah, because you're not watching TV.
Beginning, middle, end, people.
Beginning,
middle, end. Maybe some sort of like takeaway that the listener should have.
And by the way, I think that's a lot of frustration with our parents' generation, with our generation. It's that our parents actually encountered a lot of similar problems to us in terms of society, because we talk about a lot of issues as if they're purely new. Houses being too expensive, college degrees not meaning what you think they should. You know what I mean? Like going into debt that then like it's hard to pay off.
Expectation, disappointment.
Exactly.
It's a tale as old as time.
Exactly.
I expect one thing. It doesn't happen. I'm disappointed.
Going to a job you don't like, etc. And I think our parents' generation actually did deal with some of the similar issues.
Yeah.
Like they actually did deal with it. The difference was they don't have the communication abilities to express it.
Yeah.
And I think that's the frustration. It's not that a lot of our parents would have you believe that like they don't like young people complaining about society or their lives or the future, because it's, oh, you're whiny, and we pulled ourselves up by our bootstraps. A lot of the frustration is our parents dealt with a lot of problems in silence, that they're seeing their kids like actually vocalize, and in doing so, by communicating what's wrong, work towards solutions that allow them to avoid dealing with it. And that's what pisses our parents off. Our parents would be like, well, this job suddenly doesn't give me any paid time off, and it doesn't pay me overtime, even though I'm staying overtime, but I guess that's just the way it is, and I don't want to say anything. I don't have the confidence, the ability to communicate that's what's going on. And then they see their kids go, wait a minute, hey, this job isn't paying me overtime. That's wrong, right? All right, let's organize. Okay, we're all going to get paid overtime now. All right, so good. Because we all organize, we talk to each other. The jobs are now better for us. And what their parents are really feeling is like stupid that they didn't think of that. And then kind of a little ashamed that they didn't have the courage to verbalize the issues they're seeing their kids verbalize. And then, but they only know how to express that now. Just like, you're so lazy, you don't know how to deal, you know?
Well, I think they interpret all communication as complaint.
Yes.
Is what you're basically saying. Like, yeah, they're very triggered by the fact that their kids and this generation has the verbal language tools to communicate what's wrong, and then also the confidence to suggest that maybe it's something we can solve.
Yes.
And I think that, again, they view you wanting to solve a problem as you being like arrogant or ungrateful.
Yes.
When really it's like they also identify the problem, but like you said, pointing out the problem evokes within them shame that they didn't feel confident that they were worthy of a solution to said problem.
Yes. Boomers will look at anyone accomplishing something that they didn't accomplish or couldn't accomplish, and instead of just being like, hey, good for them, they'll be like, pretty easy to accomplish.
Yeah.
I remember specifically, your mom said after Anora won a bunch of Oscars, Anora, the independent film, she went, Anora, they said it was made for like $6 million. I feel like you could make that for like $500. Just film on your phone. It's like, well, anyone could make a terrible movie on their phone.
Yeah, anyone can make something bad.
Yeah.
It is like, what are you even talking about?
Again, you could show a boomer Avatar and they'd be like, costs $200 million. I feel like you could just like go out to the woods with your phone.
I feel like you go out to the woods with your phone.
Well, my dad recently, he pitched me like a fun, it'd be his idea for a monster movie, which actually, not a bad idea. I'll talk to you after. But anyway, he was like, and look, we'll have a bunch of monsters come out and like chase people through the woods, and like, we'll figure, the story stuff, character stuff, we can figure that out later. But I'm like, the way you just waved the hardest part of the hardest process.
In order to get people to care about anything, you have to have good story and characters. But like we said, that doesn't register to boomers.
Doesn't register to boomers.
But it's so funny because it's like their favorite movies are movies that probably have really strong story and characters.
Yes.
But they would be like, my favorite part of the movie is X random thing that's not actually why they like the movie.
Well, not to be full, we're not a cinema podcast.
We don't talk about that. Yeah, we're so true.
But I do say people will watch like a 3-hour movie. People sat through Avatar for, I think they said this about, it might have been the third movie, but they've said this for everyone. Something everyone says about all of the Avatar movies is they go, yeah, the story sucks, the characters are really boring, I don't really care about any of it, but you stay for the visuals. And I'm like, at this point, there's been like 9 hours of Avatar. If you've sat through 9 hours, and you still are in a position to care about the visuals, you kind of like the story a little bit.
At some point, people can't just care about visuals. There has to be a story.
Yeah.
Which, again, is the power of well-told TV, is that it makes you think, oh, it's so effortless. Oh, even a stupid person could understand what's going on. No! In order to tell a story that a stupid person understands, you have to be so deliberate with your storytelling.
Yeah.
So deliberate. Which is, again, it's so funny what boomers can't see, because I'm like, that's also what they can't do.
But then they act like, because I can't see it, it must be nothing.
Yeah, because I don't get it, it must not be anything.
It must be nothing.
Meanwhile, it's like the unseen is what you also appreciate.
Yes.
But okay, I think going back to the they're mad that their kids point out problems that they too have recognized but just didn't feel worthy of demanding a solution for. It's just so funny because I'm like, if you didn't also think this was a problem, it wouldn't even bother you when I said it.
Yes.
I think that's also what boomers don't get, is their irritation or their ability to be bothered by the younger generation is proof that clearly they also agree on some level. You can't react. You can't feel any way about something unless you agree with it at least a little.
When boomers react harshly to someone who works at a Starbucks complaining that they worked too long on their feet without breaks at Starbucks, and Starbucks should really give their employees better conditions commissions and more breaks. When boomers look at that and get mad, they're like, you're just whining. Well, what they're really mad about is they're mad because they're realizing that, like, oh shit, I worked too much without breaks.
Yeah.
I was getting screwed over by all of my employers, and I didn't even think to complain about it, even though, no, it was hard.
Yeah.
And then you're upset at yourself for not having the courage to do what this, what whiny little bitch Gen Z is doing.
Yeah. Our dry cleaner near us always has inspirational quotes on the board. And the one that's been up recently is actually, may you not blame yourself for what you didn't know earlier. And I think that's something I feel like boomers could take a note of.
Yes.
Where it's like, yeah, look, your kids are kind of woker to the mistreatment from the elites than you were. And it's not too late to say, hey, maybe they're onto something.
Hey.
And it's okay that you didn't feel worthy of standing up for yourself.
Well, parents resent their children for solving problems that parents just suffered from.
Yeah.
And instead of being like, oh, cool, you found a way out of this suffering, they're like, oh, what, you think you don't have to suffer?
Yeah.
Like me?
Yeah, like me.
And they do the boomer laugh.
Yeah, they do the evil boomer laugh.
Yeah.
Also, boomers love to say the meanest thing they could possibly think of to you, and then when you go like, what? They go, don't take everything so personally. Your generation is so sensitive. I'm like, you just told me I was fat and ugly and lazy.
They're like, no. I told you other people are going to think that. No. I said other people are
going to think that. Probably, definitely, they're going to think that.
Yeah.
Keep on shaking, shakers.
Yeah, every word have a different sign off. Yeah. Hey, shake up the old shaker and shake on some shake.
And shake until you can't shake no more.
And shake until the cops say, knock it off.
And shake until you're on that Forbes 30 under 30 list. And then the FBI comes and says, hey, the way you've been shaking,
that's not
it's
how
illegal.
You're supposed to shake. And then you're like, my team's on it.